And we're live. It's that time again. Being a Spurs fan is hard at the best of times, especially difficult at the moment. But we must soldier on, we must carry on. And you are joining us for the PRTV preview. Hello, I'm Sam Spurs for Life, and this is PRTV, and this is your PRTV preview show for the game, which is kicking off tomorrow. Crystal Palace versus Tottenham Hotspur, 8 o'clock kickoff at Selhurst Park, and yeah, tough times at the moment, but we must soldier on. Like I said, I'm all right at the moment until tomorrow. But I'm joined in the house by my fellow guest, as always, the one and only Super Sid Spurs. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right until tomorrow night, obviously.
we ain't gonna waste no time. You can we could do all the dwelling and all the rest of that stuff that we know we could do about this. Hold on, I'm just trying to sort something out in the background. But right. You know what it's like. Spurs do what Spurs do. We can only go game to game. We must win tomorrow. Yeah. What's your thoughts going into tomorrow's game? Is it a case of, again, we say it all the time, we said it last game, must win, but it's a tough task tomorrow at Crystal Palace.
It's a must-win game. We've not had a good run recently, and as far as I'm concerned, tomorrow is a must-win game, because then we're going to the FA Cup, and then it's the NLD, and I'm probably going to be, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but it could be one of the biggest North London derbies for us.
Yeah, a couple games in between that, obviously. Well, yeah, 2 games in between that. Obviously, the game tomorrow, and then obviously the FA Cup, and then we have. Is there a midweek game as well after that? There might. Well,
no.
There's not. Okay, because I don't want to. My heart can't take too many Tottenham games before that North London derby. So we will have a look and see what Crystal Palace will. All right, there we go, people. Live TV as always. So the league table stands like this. Obviously, Arsenal playing tonight against Newcastle. We'll talk about the games in a minute. But Tottenham sit in 5th place, currently on 30 points, 13 points off the top. More importantly, though, 2 points off top 4. Liverpool on 28 points, 2 points behind us. It's all tightening up round and about that area. As you can see, Sid, our run doesn't look great. Last two games, draw and a loss. Start back the second part of the season post the World Cup. Are you getting concerned that the others are like beginning to breathe down next and we had a bit of breathing space before?
I'm not concerned about Liverpool because they're just hot and cold, as Katy Perry sang. They're in and they're out. They're out and they're out. He misses the goals, like whatever. Brentford are sneaking up. But my concern is the team that's in 4th at the moment, because if they win tonight, they're 5 ahead of us. At one point, they were about 8 behind us. So if they win against Bournemouth, which it should be a given, they're going to be 5 points ahead of us, level on games. So that's going to be catch up already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've got a few comments coming in. Tottenham, Andy, welcome, mate. Sam, mate, what is going wrong? Andy, if I knew that, if I did know what, I would definitely have sold it for £1 million. And here you go, you can have this as the blueprint. But there's a combination. There's a number of things, and we'll probably get into as we go through this anyway. Dry January for me, Jews nuts is going okay, but we're only day 4, and as you can see, it's water in the house now. So yeah, dry January so far so good. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be difficult if we don't get the victory for me to complete dry January. Jews nuts, Sid, please sing us a win for tomorrow. Pretty please with sprinkles on top.
Please think there's a win. Yeah, I wish I could.
City twice as well. And our own Judge Jodi, cheer up, guys. Well, I'm trying. Dance is on later, so that's what's going to make me. What?
It's one of them, innit? Cheer up, all Tottenham fans. Oh, what can it be to be Tottenham supporter?
Well, I'm going to go through the games for tonight. Arsenal versus Newcastle, Everton versus Brighton, Leicester versus Fulham, Manchester United versus Bournemouth. All kick off between 7:45 and 8 o'clock. Then tomorrow, Southampton, Forest, Leeds, West Ham, Aston Villa Wolves, and 8 o'clock kickoff, Crystal Palace versus Spurs. Follow on Thursday by Chelsea, Manchester City. Good luck with that, Chelsea. Moving on then, form guide. Not too much between the two teams, I guess, in terms of, the points. They've got 9 points. We've got, what's that, 7 points in the last 5 games. 7, definitely. I hope we can keep this sort of level of giddiness tomorrow, Sid, because, you know what happens when we come on after the show if we don't get the victory. But yeah, the last time out, 2-0 against Villa. 2-2 against Brentford, which might prove to be a decent result considering what happened with Liverpool yesterday. But looking at the form, Sid, looking at the form, it's a mixed bag, isn't it? I look at it now, I think it's Crystal Palace away. At the best of times, that's a tough game. But going into it with our form tomorrow, it's really looking like it's a real slog.
Do you know what it is? This is the game where if you're going to ask any pundit, any journalist, any Crystal Palace fan, any Spurs fan, any neutral fan, and they're going to say which Crystal Palace is going to turn up, which Tottenham's going to turn up. Because these two teams tomorrow, going into tomorrow's game, are probably the most unpredictable sides in the Premier League. You don't know what you're going to get with these lot. They're going to be like, as Forrest Gump said, like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get with these two clubs. And that's what I think tomorrow is going to be. Whoever wants it tomorrow is going to win the game.
Yeah, Andy's made a good point. Goals conceded. Just take off your comment there, Andy. Crystal Palace, notoriously, previously, don't concede a lot of goals. And you can see even in their defeats, 3-0 being the biggest. But we've been letting in some goals. 2 against Villa, 2 against Brentford, 3 against Leeds, 2 against Liverpool, 2 against Bournemouth in the last 5 games. We can't keep clean sheets. How's it going to work? We can't keep a bloody clean sheet, Sid. What's going on?
I think tomorrow, what Spurs fans that are going to the ground, you know what they should be singing tomorrow? Just to
Lord help us.
No, apart from that, just to put it on the player's mind. They should be going, do, 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 don't concede, 2, 2, 2, 2.
There you go, Jews. You've got your song. You've got your song, my friend. Form guide then going into this game tomorrow. Crystal Palace in 11th place, Tottenham in 5th. Just won 9 games, they've won 6, drawn 3, they've drawn 4, lost 5, they've lost 6. Again, this is the stat that I always kind of look at when I come to these things. Average goal scored 1.94. They aren't scoring many, just above a goal a game, Crystal Palace, but only conceding just above a goal a game as well. We're almost 1.5. So this is again home advantage to them. I'm not sure what their home record is like overall, but I'm pretty sure Crystal Palace are not beaten that much, or not beaten convincingly that much at home. Their biggest win, 3-1. Ours is 6-2 against Leicester. Their biggest defeat, 3-0 away to Everton. Ours being against them lot away, 3-1. Anything to say on the stats then, my friend? Look at the table, because Crystal Palace aren't. To me, this is a game where, as I said, even if we were going into this game full of confidence, it's always a slippy one. Crystal Palace, and we'll come to some of the results against them in the past anyway. But yeah. I just don't like that. They're good. We've been found out. We've been found out in how we play. This has got to be, Conte's got to come with something different tomorrow, surely.
He has to. But you know what it is? Everybody knows how we're going to play. So Crystal Palace and Vieira already will know how we're going to line up tomorrow. Obviously, he's not going to know the players, because we don't know yet what Kulusevski is going to be. But more or less, he's going to say, you know what, every other team have played the same against Spurs, so why are we going to be different? And I think Vieira's going to have a plan like every other manager. They know how to do it. And the problem that I've got is they've got the likes of Zaha and Eze that can actually capitalise and punish us, which for me is a little bit of a problem. But, as you were going about stats, I'm just going to give you 2 stats, right? Crystal Palace are aiming to earn consecutive home league games against Spurs for the first time, having won the corresponding fixture 3-0 last season. And also, amongst the Premier League sides they have played more than 20 times, Tottenham only have a higher win rate against Sunderland, 66%, than they do versus Crystal Palace, 58%. So that is you know, in terms of winning, it seems like we seem to do quite well against them. So
we know how to make ourselves happier on this show, don't we, Sid? I'm going to go through the recent results then against Crystal Palace. The last one out 3-0 against them last year now, obviously. Crystal Palace again, Sunday, 26th December 22. That doesn't seem right. But it was, wasn't it? It was. That is right.
that's right.
Yeah, it was. 3-0 against them at Selhurst Park back in September. Spurs 4-1 against them. I'm looking at these home games here now. Back in 2020, July and December, both 1-1 draws. So recent
26th of December 2022. No, that can't be right.
That's not right. I know it's not. That's a typo there. Sorry about that.
I was gonna say.
That must be 2021.
Yeah.
As I said. That makes more sense. But yeah, the 3 games against them at their place, 3-0, 1-1, 1-1. It don't make me feel good. It don't make me feel good, sir. And as you were saying, in terms of wins, it looks better. In terms of play 26 against them in the Premier League, we've won 15. They've only won 4, but they have won 3 at home and 1 away. I'm looking at this and again, I'm thinking this is going to be a roller coaster ride tomorrow. I just think the team selection, knowing tomorrow that we haven't got Bentancur, definitely out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Richarlison, definitely out tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm hoping that Kulusevski can make it.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility you can make it late fitness
Yes,
test?
I think what he said yesterday was, I've got today to play with, I've got tomorrow to play with, and we don't know. I'm not going to say no, but we've got today, as in today, and Wednesday to assess. And then if they tell me he's fit, he'll play. If not, then he won't. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow.
And that's what I mean. The team selection for me is all important. I'm looking at the defense. Dyer, was he dropped? Was he rested for the last game? That's going to be very, very important to see whether he comes back in tomorrow. Me personally, if I was going to put Dyer back in the team, I'd probably think about putting. Oh no, but then Romero's fit now. No, he's not. Scrub that. Longley, I think he's got to play on the left. I think we might have to bring Dyer back in for this game. You know, I just think if it was Longley, Davies, and Romero, I don't like that combination. I don't think there's enough in there for me. I like the way Longley distributes the ball. At the centre of the centre back, is he the best? Probably not, but his distribution certainly is. Dyer's got the organisation, but he's prone to mistakes. Romero, as you know, is just an animal. Who do you want to see playing in the heart of the defence tomorrow, Sid?
You know, I think I agree with you. Romero's a must. Davies and Longley the other day, I think there was just delaying their passes and that too much. I think Dyer will come back in. I think he rested him just to say, you know what, you are droppable or restable or whatever it is. But I think he'll start, and it's then a toss between Langley and Davies for a third left centre back. I don't know, mate. Honestly, I don't know, and I don't think Conte knows as well. But talking of facts as well and stats before we move on. Palace are looking to avoid consecutive home league defeats for the first time since January to February last year. The Eagles have won just 2 of their last 15 Premier League games in January. They've lost 7 and drawn 6. So their record in January is not good at all. So, you know, I'm just giving you these facts because trying to get some confidence in you, yeah?
How many times have we done? How many times have we done this same thing? We've done this. Oh, well, they've not got a great record against us. And what happens, as we know, Sid, Dr. Tottenham, we will see you now every single time, without fail. Without fail.
But I've got my facts on Spurs as well. Do you want me to tell you now or do you want me to wait?
No, tell me now, because the next thing we're doing is predictions.
Right, so facts. Tottenham's current run of 10 away London derbies without a victory in the league is the longest in our history. We have conceded the first goal in 7 consecutive league matches for the first time since November 2010. We have gone 2 goals behind in 4 of the past 5 away league fixtures. And this is not going to help people. We, Tottenham players, have made a combined 5 errors leading to opposition goals this season, 2 more than any other Premier League side. Lloris is responsible for 3 of them.
Yeah, I saw that stat. That was the one that was kind of like, of all the teams in the Premier League, and we're not at the bottom of the league, we make the most mistakes that lead to goals. That can't be. This is what I'm saying. It's either bad luck or just these players make these mistakes. And like I said, you make a save. Yeah, everybody makes saves, might ricochet, but it seems to always fall to a player. I remember in the Arsenal game, the same thing. Lloris made the save, falls to an Arsenal player. He makes the save against Villa, falls to a Villa player. How many times is this going to happen? And it's just like, what do we say? It's bad luck, bad keeping. What? Because that was definitely mistakes by him in those. But when you have keepers make mistakes, players make mistakes, but why does it always lead to problems for us in terms of goals?
Because, like you just said, Lloris, when the ball comes to him, for whatever reason, he drops it to their player. Every other keeper palms it away to the left, to the right. This guy, I don't know what it is. It always seems to. But you know what? What can we do? It happens. But when your captain's doing it and he's the first one to run down the tunnel at the final whistle, for me, and I've said it many times, he should not be our captain.
Yeah, there's a debate about keeper and him particularly being the captain. I like a defender personally. I like a central defender or a midfielder to be captain, in my opinion. But again, that's my own personal choice. Captain should be the person that's going to be able to lead the players by example or by motivation, whatever it needs to be. And we're going to need a lot of motivation and examples of players giving all. Because what I saw in that Villa game, players weren't giving it their all. I don't care what anybody says. Spurs have not got anything less than the 6th best squad in the league. However you want to do the permutations, I don't believe we're any lower than that in terms of a squad. In terms of a manager, as I've put before, I don't believe you've got anything less than the 3rd best manager in the league. You could probably put Klopp ahead of him and probably put Pep ahead of him. But in terms of what's been won in the others, I wouldn't say anybody else is above him. But does this matter at all when we can't get a tune out of the players? He doesn't seem to be able to get a tune out of some of these players. He's a bit stubborn in trying to play certain players. And that whole combination, I don't see how you can motivate these players to go out and perform, particularly if they don't do it at home when they're in an environment that they should be comfortable in. Is it the crowd? Do you think the crowd's playing a part? Would they be more comfortable away from home tomorrow, you think?
We'll find out tomorrow, won't we? We'll find out tomorrow. You're going to pop onto the score prediction in a minute. Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
No Bentancur tomorrow. No Bissouma tomorrow because he's banned. Who is going to be your midfield tomorrow? Who's going to play with Højbjerg tomorrow? Or who do you want to see?
I think, in my personal opinion, what I think he's got to do, it's tough one now because now we're lacking midfielders in terms of, and I said, if you're lacking certain players in certain areas, then overload it in the other areas if you've got more. So if you're lacking forwards, play more midfielders. So go for the 3-5-2 as opposed to the 3-4-3. Now we're lacking forwards and midfielders. It's a real tough call because the midfielders haven't been given the opportunity in terms of Papistar and Skip this season. Not much. One of them two is going to have to play tomorrow, without doubt. I can't see any other formation but Højbjerg and let's say Skip. Now, is he going to go 3-5-2 like Sean's called for? I don't think he will now because of that fact that, he hasn't got the likes of Bissouma. But that's going to really play into Palace's hands because they will just flood the middle. They'll probably go with a 4-5-1 of a kind, and they'll have 3 players at least in that middle area. And they are physical. They are a young team. They get about the pitch. We need to flood that midfield. So Skip at the base. I'd even put Papisar to play tomorrow. I know he ain't played, but
he's been Conte's been raving about him, hasn't he? Apparently.
He has, but it's only because he needs him. He weren't raving about him before.
No, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, and like you said, and like Sean's saying tomorrow, because them two are out, who does he play with? Højbjerg, Skip, and Sarr, or does he only go with Skip and Højbjerg? And that is going to be the $1 million question, isn't it?
It's tough because Skip hasn't played much.
Nope.
Sarr had a bit of time at the World Cup, but not much. He hasn't had a lot of time playing for Spurs. If I'm honest with you, he does look slightly lightweight, but again, that might just be his frame. We might not be a gill. We haven't seen enough of him to say that he gets barged off. He does look like he can play a bit. So I'm hoping that if he does get brought in tomorrow, we'll at least get to see him over a 90-minute period as opposed to the 10, 15, whatever little bit of cameos he's been getting.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's going to go 3-4-3 with Skip and Bentancur. Sorry, Skip and Højbjerg in there. Maybe have Sarr on the bench. And Gil will probably start again tomorrow. And I believe that it will be Son and Kane as well.
Yeah, I agree with Son and Kane. I don't know about Gil, whether he's going to trust him again. I don't know. But who else is there? Unless unless you know, Harvey White comes in at somewhere along the line. I don't know. You know what? It's
a tough one. Let's make ourselves a little bit happier. Let's at least, well, might not make us happy depending on what the predictions are. But let's do this anyway. Score predictions. Do you want to go first then, my friend?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it sweet and simple. I think we're not going to concede 2. We're going to concede 1, and I think we're going to win 1-2. And Son and Kane. My son's just laughing at me now because he's saying, "Why have you said Son? Son should not even be playing."
We got no choice tomorrow. Unfortunately, we've got no choice tomorrow. No. I'm going. I put it on the group chat earlier. I'm going 2-2. Sean's gone 2-2 as well. I think Sean said Kane. Who else did he say?
Kane and Son.
Kane and Son.
Yeah. So you two got that thing in your mind, haven't you? 2-2.
And I'm not going Kane and Son. That was Mr. Hurl. He's gone 2-2 with Kane and Son. I'm going 2-2 as well. Another Desmond in there, and you can't look past Kane in terms of at least one goal scorer.
Yeah.
But I think set pieces are going to be important tomorrow. I think set pieces again. It's important. We have done well at set pieces. So
I'm sorry. What games have you watched when we've done well at set pieces?
We're one of the highest scores of set pieces this season, Sid. But I saw Son's corners against Villa. He was shocking, terrible.
And Perisic, Perisic wasn't any better.
He weren't much better, was he? But no. Perisic is definitely better in that position in terms of taking corners. But I'm going Kane, Perisic.
I'm going KP as well. I'm changing mine to KP as well.
From what? Kane or Son?
Kane, Son to KP. Kane, Perisic. I think Perisic is going to score.
Okay, Perisic. So yours. Right now, the wrong thing here. Sean's gone 2-2 with Kane and Son. You're going 2-1 with Kane and Perisic. I'm going 2-2, Kane and Perisic as well. That's a done deal then, Sid. Let's have a last couple of comments before we get ourselves off here. Drew's nice to say, and away fans will be our 12th man. Let's hope so. Højbjerg and Pape Matisar in midfield. Drew's, I'd like to see it. I'm just not sure we will. Kevin Murray 2-1 to the Spurs. Get in there, Kevin. Sean, Kulusevski is missing.
I don't think he is, but we'll find out tomorrow. But Sean, you're probably right. He probably won't play. I think the odds are he won't play.
Harvey White, still got Harvey White too. So we won't see him on the bench. I reckon he definitely has to be on the bench. Not a game for Gil. You're right. It's not a game for Gil, Kevin. No. But who else are we going to play? If there's no Kulusevski tomorrow, we're then going to have to go with a 3-5-2, in my opinion. I think we have to go for a 3-5-2 if there is definitely no Kulusevski playing. If Kulusevski's fit, I think he goes 3-4-3.
But then, Sam, what he could do is if he wants to play the 3, he could theoretically bring Sess in to play left wing and then play Perisic as one of the 3 attackers instead of Gil.
Good point. He could play Perisic as a forward left-sided, but then that means he'd play him right-sided if that's the case, because Son doesn't have to play on the left, but he's probably likely to play on the left.
And that
Dave, sorry, mate. I was just going to say, David, late in the proceedings, hello from Leicester. Perisic is passing me off, but he's not really saying passing. I watched him closely and he's only going through the motions.
I've said that all along. He's not a Premiership player. He came to Spurs for the World Cup and now he's just, he's in the motions, 100%.
Oh dear. Well, we ain't got long to wait. Like I said, we ain't got long to wait for the kickoff of them lot versus Newcastle. And then I'm looking forward to it. MVG versus Michael. What's his name? Smith, isn't it? Michael Smith.
Yeah.
Good games
David Clark is right at the end where he's saying we should go 6-4-1. I think the 6 is on the bench. That's 6 defenders because we will have 6 defenders on the bench.
We should go 6-4-1. That's a cheat though, David. That'll mean we'll have 11 outfield players if we do that. That's definitely cheat codes. Come on, you Spurs. We have to go with the come on, you Spurs as the last shout. And Jews, well done, mate, for ending the show like that. Sid, back tomorrow. Let's do this. Reaction show will be after after full time. We kick off at 8, so around about 9:50 or so people. Make sure if you are new to PRTV, make sure you hit a like on the stream, subscribe. Changes are coming soon in terms of a different YouTube channel, but no real changes for you guys. Just make sure you go and subscribe to that. Sid, anything more to say? Final words, final thoughts?
Win, lose or draw, come in after the game for the reaction show tomorrow because we'll still be around, and hopefully Sean's better as well, so he'll join us as well. So join us tomorrow for the reaction.
Yeah, look out. Thursday, I think, should be able to do talking points, which will, it might be a lot to talk about depending on the results. So let's see. Come on, you Spurs. Jodi, thank you very much. That's it. Jodi, looking forward to the dart. Hope you are, because it's going to be lit today. It's going to be 7-1 Spurs. No, 7-1 Palace. That's not good, is it? That's really not good. No, we can't end like that. David, what are you doing? I'm going back to this one. Come on, you Spurs. Well done. That's it. Enough of that now. We need to go. Sid, thank you very much. We will catch up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys check us out tomorrow for the reaction show. There will be reactions 100%. We are out.